Hello all, I'm Dr.T. Roja Rani from BBRIT Hyderabad, Assistant Professor Management Studies. Today's topic is law of demand. The term demand is often heard and understood in different ways in different contexts. More precisely, in economic terminology, demand is the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing to buy at a particular time and particular set of conditions. So without demand, there is no business. So initially, to start any business, we should have the demand for that commodity. So to create demand for any product, we have to satisfy three conditions. The first condition here is desire to buy that product. Second one here is ability to buy that product. And third one is willingness to buy that product. So the first one is desire. Whatever the product you would like to buy, you should have the desire to buy that product. That's the initial condition and the first condition. And after that, you should have the ability to buy that product. Ability means sufficient money to buy that product. Then the third one here is willingness to buy that product. Means that product you have to satisfy in all the ways. The color, taste and the texture and all the other things, whatever you expect from that product. So if you satisfy all these three conditions only, you can create demand. The same thing, you can write it like a demand is equal to desire plus ability to buy and willingness to buy that product. So then you can create demand for that product. Then if you come exactly to the law of demand, that governs the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price. What the law of demand says? The law of demand says that if the price is increasing, the quantity demanded is decreasing. The same thing, reverse. If the price is decreasing, the quantity demanded is increasing. So there is an inverse relationship between the price of the commodity and the quantity demanded. So but price is not only the determinant factor, it depends upon the other factors also. Price is the primary factor, but it also depends upon the other determinants. So without demand, no business would ever bother of producing anything and there is no existence of any economic activity. So if you want to know the demand function, what is the relationship between the demand of that product and its determinants? That we can express and write it in a formula type. So that is dx is equal to function of y, ex, ps, pc, t, ep, ey, and d and mu. So this we can explain it like a, here in this dx is equal to demand for that commodity x. Y is equal to income of the consumer. Means the demand of that commodity directly depends upon the income of the consumer. If the income is more, they demand more and more goods and services. Then the next one here is the px. Price of that particular commodity x. If the price is more, you demand less. If the price is less, you demand more. And next one is PS, price of the substitutory goods. Here you have to explain what is a substitutory goods. Take the example of tea and coffee. Suppose tea is not available, then naturally the customer shifts to the coffee. Means these two goods are substitutable with one another. So demand of that commodity also depends upon the price of the substitutory good. The next one here is the complementary goods of X. To create demand for one product, if you need a combination of the goods, then those goods are called as the complementary goods. Earlier we used to give the example to write a letter. We need pen and paper. But now to send a message, you need both mobile and the network. So this also depends upon the prices of the complementary goods. Next, the taste and preferences of the consumer. If you are creating a demand for a particular commodity, the taste and preferences of that particular customer should not change. Then you can create demand for that product. Next, future expectations about the prices. Suppose if you think that this is the December month, if you think, The next coming March, in the budget, they are going to decrease the prices of the commodity which you are going to create a demand for that product. Then you will wait till your March. So that is the future expectations about the prices. The next, future income expectations. Suppose in the near future, if you are going to get some lump sum amount, then also the demand for that commodity will be postponed to the next few months. Next, the number of consumers. More number of consumers, more demand. Less number of consumers, less demand. So the demand for that commodity also depends upon the number of consumers in the market. The next one here is the distribution of consumers. How these consumers are distributed according to their age, place, taste and preferences also affect the demand for that commodity. Next, some other determinants. Not only these factors what we have explained in this demand function, more than this, some other factor. Suppose your dad is not willing to buy that product and he says that no, don't create demand now, we'll postpone it for the next years. Then also you don't create demand. So those are all other conditions we'll take into the new. So this is the demand function. Next we will go to the next section, that is the clear explanation of law of demand. For that you have to satisfy some preconditions that we read in the assumptions of demand. The first one here is prices of related goods should be constant. Whatever the product you are dreaming to buy, the prices of the related goods should not change. If those goods prices are changing, then naturally you will think about it. So that price is less, no? So let me wait and see if I buy that product. That's the first condition. Prices of the related goods should not change. Next, income of the consumers also should not change. In between, if you want to create a demand, so suddenly your income should not be changed. If it is changed, then whatever the product you are going to demand will be shifted to the some other product. The third one here is taste and preferences of the consumer. The taste and preferences of the consumer also should be constant. Next, no expectations in the change in price in the near future. So you have to be careful about that. If you know about the prices are going to decrease, then you don't create demand for that product. So you have to provide these conditions to explain the law of demand. If you come to the definition of law of demand, the law of demand states that other things being equal, higher the price of the commodity, lower is the quantity demanded, and lower the price, higher the quantity demanded. Lower the price, higher the quantity demanded, higher the price, lower the quantity demanded. And the law of demand can be explained with the help of the following table and the diagram. So I'll explain you with the help of a table. Take a small table consisting of two columns. One is the price of the commodity. Here you take the price of the commodity. Next, here is the quantity demanded. So here if you take the price of the commodity like this, if the price of the commodity is 10, then the quantity demanded here is 20 quantities you are demanding. If the price has come down to 10 to 8, then you are demanding something more, that is 25 quantities you are demanding it. If the price has still come down to 6, then you are demanding 30 quantities. Then if it is 4, then 35. Then if it is 2, then you are creating 40. You see here, when the price is high, you are demanding less. When the price is less, you are demanding more. The same thing, if you represent in a diagrammatic representation, take x and y axes. In the x-axis, you are taking the quantity demanded. And in the y-axis, you are taking the price of the product. then the curve will be like this. DD is the demand curve. So if the price is 10 rupees, the quantity demanded is 20. If the price is 10 rupees, the quantity is 20. If the price is 2, the quantity demanded is 40. So the demand curve will be like this, downward sloping from left of the graph to the right of the graph. Okay, so this is the law of demand. So this law of demand is also undergoing some limitations or the exceptions that we read in the form of the following points. The first point here is Giffen's paradox. Sir Robert Giffen is a Britain people. He found that the low paid workers in Britain are buying more and more bread when the bread price is increasing. But according to our law of demand, what they have to do? When the price of the bread is increasing, they have to demand less, but they are demanding more. Then he went to them and asked, why you are buying more and more? Then they said that our daily food is bread and meat, and we are reducing the expenses on the meat and we are buying more and more bread. So this whole scenario, this whole story is named it as a Giffen's paradox, because for the first time he found that when the price of any commodity is increasing, the low paid workers are also demanding more and more. So they named that as a Giffen's paradox. The second one here is conspicuous goods like diamonds and gold. Some people are very conscious about what type of the gold they are wearing, what type of the diamonds they are wearing it. If the gold prices and diamond prices are increasing, then they are demanding more and more. Why this is happening? This is also against the law of demand, because they are very conscious about what they are wearing and they want to be unique. They want to show that yes, we are having a very highly costly ornaments with us. That is also against the law of demand. That's all regarding the conspicuous goods. Third one here is at the time of speculation. Where do you use the word speculation? Naturally in the share market. So when the price of any company share is increasing, the buyers, they are buying more and more of that company share. This is also against the law of demand. Okay, so at the time of speculation also our law of demand is not applicable. Next, outdated goods. You take any outdated good. Suppose walkie-talkie in the olden days. In those days it costs about some 4,000 to 5,000. Now they would like to sell for 400 itself, but nobody is there to buy that product. Price is reduced here, then you have to create more and more demand for that product. But it's not happening in outdated goods. That is also one of the exceptions in law of demand. Next, future expectations about prices. In the near future, if you are expecting that so and so product price is going to increase, then you create more and more now itself. So that is also against the law of demand, because without any price reduction, now you are demanding more and more. Because why you are demanding more? Because in the near future, you are expecting that the prices of that commodity is increasing. Next, the last one here is the Veblen goods. Veblen goods are the luxurious goods. Some of the luxurious goods, when the prices of those luxurious goods are increasing, like the cars, even they want to have the more and more of that product. When the price of that product is increasing, so they want to show their luxury, so they will buy more and more of that product. So these are all will come under the law of demand and its explanations. Hope all of you understood the law of demand and its explanation. Thank you.